guys, it's Ice.
And Cream here. And today we are going to make some devices for swag here. Okay, so the supplies we're going to need for this DIY is a old notebook. We could use the notebook paper, and we also need to use the back or the front cover. We are going to need a pen or markers, whichever one you guys would prefer, and possibly some colored pencils. Now we will also need some tape or glue. I'm using tape because I find that works better sometimes. And lastly, some scissors. Hey Swag, what do you want me to make? Well, I could really use a new phone. Alrighty, that sounds great. So let's go over to the case and start cutting. We needed the perfect size for these OMG fashion dolls to hold in their hand, and should be about this big. See, it's good in Swag's proportion size. So now we are going to trace our lines and cut. So let's just follow the lines right here and cut. Turn that over. And voila! Now we got our screen ready. So let's tape.
So it looks like Cream is taping on the back of the phone to the front that she traced out from the back. Now she's cutting to make sure it's the right size. Perfect.
As you can see, it is about the perfect size for a phone in Swag's hand. Now we are going to start on the screen.
Okay, so it looks like she's drawing the screen for it now.
Yes, I am drawing a rectangle in the middle of our screen here. Well, technically it's just a piece of paper right now, but it's turning into a screen. So then below this, we are going to do our home button. Then at the top, we are going to do one top for the camera, then two lines next to it as speakers. Next, this case I think already looks pretty good, so I am going to keep this how it is. Now for the front, for the front of the screen, we are going to need to add some apps. So using our colored pencils here, we are going to grab some of our colors. I'm going to do purple because that's one of my favorite colors. And I am just going to color in the screen. You can also add apps and stuff, but since OMGs are very small dolls, I don't think that apps would look very realistic if we made them in like real life size on here, or if we tried to make them small, they still wouldn't pop out very much.
Yeah, they look kind of like little circles that look like just blobs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna color around this blue just to add some flair again.
That phone looks very realistic. Good job.
Thanks.
And I'm sure everybody out there who are doing this craft with us too will also be amazing at it.
Yes. So here is the front of our phone, and here's the back of our phone, and I think we did a good job.
Yay! Good to everybody who's doing this craft with us.
Swag, what do you think? Well, I think it's great. Thank you so much. Do you think you could also make me a computer? Sure, that sounds great. I'll just set the phone right there for you. Thank you. So moving on, we're gonna go back to the back of our thing, and we're gonna just cut off this big edge. I know what you're thinking, like Cream, that is crazy huge. why would you need something that big? But I will tell you why in a second. But for now, we are just gonna cut out the correct size right here. Just need something to hold that down. I find sometimes a useful thing for the tape, because it weighs a little bit more than other stuff, is just to set it down on the back of our book so it makes it easier to work.
So I'm going to explain while she's doing this, what she is doing right now, and why it's so big. Why it's so big is because she's going to fold it, and why she's cutting it out is so it's a screen and it doesn't look like a weird paper.
So I am actually going to fold this now. So we are just going to go ahead, fold it in half, crease that edge.
Such skill and good job to all you crafters.
Next, we are going to make our screen. Now, normally I would tape this on first and then draw it, but with these computers, it's sometimes pretty hard to make it perfect.
That's okay.
Sometimes it's easier to make it perfect if we don't do it while the tape is there. And so we are just going to press this on and fold it up. So just so we get the correct crease, I'm just going to set this here. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get it to the right position. Once you do, it'll be great. And as you can see, there's a little bit hanging off here, but once we tape it on, we'll be able to cut off the edges to make it perfect. So at the top here, I'm going to create the screen. I'm just going to follow my lines. And yeah. Screens are normally one of the easier things to do, because at the bottom you do have to make all the keys, and that sometimes takes a while. But once you get it good,
we're just gonna see you guys in a sec after we're done. So good luck, all you crafters.
Alrighty, so as you can see, I went ahead and added it. So here's our keyboard, our mouse, and our screen. I added a star for decoration, a G for Google on one of my apps, a flower as in pictures, and a Y and a T for YouTube, one of our favorite apps. Now it is time to glue or tape, both work, this on to our back.
See you in a sec.
Okay, so I taped this on and our computer is ready. Now, if you don't have like a good back for yours, you can always tape some cool design on here.
Or draw one.
Yes, but I actually really love this pattern, so I am just going to keep it how it is. But you at home can do you and explore your interests with this computer. Now I'm going to hand this to Swag and we'll move on to her next request. Now Swag, what would be the next technology piece that you'd like? Well, you know, an iPad would be great. Alrighty, then let's make an iPad. To make your iPad, we are going to start out by using our scissors and cutting a little square out of this big back for our
notebook. So we'll see you in a sec after you cut, because you guys probably know how to cut stuff now. So yeah.
Okay, so here it is. It should be about this big. Doesn't have to be totally perfect on the sides. Unless you're like a perfectionist, you can do it how you'd like.
Like we usually do, we're going to put notebook paper on the front for the screen so it doesn't look like what you see now.
Yes, so let's trace this with our scissors. And it's okay if you accidentally cut your screen with it. We just want it to be perfectly
Because you see those trimmings? That's what we did, but it will look and match perfectly.
Yes. So the next step
is we're going to tape it on, so we'll see you in a second. Good. As you see, she's cutting it to make sure the screen notebook paper fits perfectly. And soon she'll be turning it into an iPad screen. Perfect.
Okay, so this is about the shape of our iPad. So now we're going to start coloring the screen. So I am going to use this middle square here as our screen. We'll make our home button and our dot for camera and 2 lines for our speakers. Now, time to make the actual screen part look real. So I didn't actually add apps on my phone because that screen is a little small, but we can add apps on here. So we are just gonna make small squares.
Yeah, so we'll see you in a second.
Okay, so I went ahead and did it. So I didn't actually do anything in my apps because they're a little too small to put stuff in there, but they still look like apps, to me at least. And so I went around and added some pink because that's another one of my favorite colors. And then my home screen is purple, so you can see. Then we have our back is the same pretty back color. But
It's
again,
the same color as that stuff.
yes, but again,
Notebook.
you can add any background you'd want. Just tape it on and it should be good. But I like the background for my notebook, so I'm just going to keep that.
And we can't make the video too long, but we
Yeah.
would if we could, but the camera's running out of battery.
Alrighty, so let's give this to Swag. Thank you so much. You guys are great at DIYs. Thanks so much, Swag. Alrighty, so I hope you liked this video. Make sure to give a big thumbs up and subscribe. Ring that bell, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, ring the bell so you get notifications and subscribe so you get notifications when we post a new video. So, see you later. It's Ice.
And Cream, and we're logging out.